Hey guys, welcome to today's book chat. I'm so excited that you're joining me. I am Raquel, and this is the Women in Business Networking Book Club pick for last quarter, which was The Financial Feminist by Tori Dunlap. I want to give you my review of the book and hope that you have read the book, that you've read at least the summary, or that you've listened to it on audiobook. Either way, and whichever way you consumed it, I hope that you will continue to read more books, because remember that leaders are readers. So let's get into it. In The Financial Feminist, Tori Dunlap tackles the complex relationship women have with money in a society that often marginalizes their financial power. Now, you've heard the term girl math. Tori is here to break that completely. She wants us to be financially literate. She wants us to understand financial lingo and speak, and she wants us to be aware that the ball is now in our court. And it's not just in our court so that we can do better for ourselves, being that there is a wage gap, gender wage gap, but there also is a racial wage gap, even that goes beyond gender. And so she's talking a lot about how we can take control and power of our financial future today, and then also create a way for those that are coming after us to be able to take control of their financial future as well. A lot of times we have been people that just kind of let money happen to us, and we work hard for our money. But she's talking about changing that structure so that we make it so that our money works hard for us. And I know that sounds super cliche, but I'll tell you what, she gives us some practical tips, some practical advice in a tone that is very empowering and not condescending. And I love that about her book. So enough about my opinions. Let's talk what makes The Financial Feminist stand out. And what makes it stand out is its call to action. It urges readers not only to focus on your personal financial growth, but also to advocate for greater financial equality. It's not about just becoming financially literate. It's about understanding the structures that hold women back and working to dismantle them. And that's the most important part. Why? Because it blazes a trail. It makes us powerful in the sense that we not only create change for ourselves, but for our daughters and for our granddaughters and our friends and those that are coming after us. And that's what I want to do. I want to create a sustainable and long-term change in the way that we think and view ourselves. We say a lot of times, I'm just not good with money. Today is the day for you to start getting good with money. And that's what she teaches in this book. It's really phenomenal. So I've got 5 takeaways today of The Financial Feminist. Number 1, money is a feminist issue. Dunlap emphasizes that financial independence is a form of empowerment, and achieving it requires overcoming the systematic barriers that have historically held women back. Financial literacy allows women to make choices without being constrained by dependency or financial inequality. She's putting the ball in your court. And it is an issue. It is a feminist issue in the sense that we are women and we are ready to change the narrative. We are ready to be very aware of what's happening with the money that we work so hard for. Number 2, she talks about the power of automation. Automate your savings. Pay yourself first. You have heard this time and time and time again, but how many of us are actually practicing it? And so it's one thing for us to listen to advice and just listen to it, but it's quite another thing to implement it into our lives. How hard is it to automate your savings? Not hard at all. It is super, super, super easy. She talks about automating savings and investments, and it's how it's one of the most effective and powerful ways to ensure long-term financial stability. Dunlap explains how setting up automatic transfers to savings or retirement accounts can simplify your money management, and then on top of that, it can reduce your stress, because you know that you are already putting your money to work for you. If you're putting it in an individual retirement account, as you should be, then, and it doesn't even matter if it's a large amount or if it's a small amount, any little bit counts. And so she really talks to us about going out and investing in yourself by meeting with a investment banker. And by taking the fear out of money markets and stock markets and things like that, she talks about how we can automate those immediate either savings or investments, just even with from your employer, or you can do it yourself. You can make sure that when you go in there and have a financial meeting with yourself, that one that you schedule on your calendar, you go in there and you transfer the day of your paycheck, you transfer the money in some money into your savings, or you transfer some money automatically into a retirement account that's not tied to your job. Individual retirement account is essential for people like us. Who are people like us? Women who are ready to take care of themselves financially. And so she talks about the power of automation and how it's a you thing. If you're not doing it today, it's because you haven't taken the time to just go ahead and get it done. Investing early and often is another takeaway from the Financial Feminist. Of course, one of the central messages of the book is that investing it's not just for the wealthy or for the financially savvy. Dunlap breaks down the process, demystifying the stock market and encouraging women to start investing with whatever they can and to start investing as early as possible. This is why I'm telling you, it's for us, but it's also for those that are coming after us. I mean, it's so much easier that when you start your career, you can start on the foot by saying, okay, I'm going to start investing in an individual account. A lot of times you just let that be a perk from your job, but how about making perks for yourself? How about you thinking about your future self when I'm 45, when I'm 55, when I'm 65? What do I want to accomplish? And then reverse engineering that so that you begin to invest in these individual retirement accounts early. And if we don't know, and this is very important for us, if we as women, I'm 45 years old, me as a 45-year-old woman, if I don't take the time to become financially literate in these areas, how in the world can I possibly expect to teach my daughter who's 23 years old or my granddaughter who's 10 years old? How can I do that? It's very important for us to start where we are. Don't think that it's too late. Don't think that, that train has passed. Don't think that ship has sailed. You know what? You can take control of it today. Perhaps if you want to retire, if you're 45, you want to retire by 65, of course, you're going to have to be super aggressive. But maybe that is not in your financial future at the moment. Maybe you just want to be financially at peace. Maybe you want to know that your bills are all getting paid on time. Maybe you want to put a little bit of reserve away for, an emergency or for a wedding of one of your children, or for perhaps, a quinceañera or something that's coming up, or for your children's first car or your grandchildren's first car. You can begin to do whatever your goal is. I am not diminishing or making your goal small. Whatever it is that you have as a financial goal, it's important. It's important to you, therefore it's important to me. And so how do we take the steps to get there? Well, we know that we're going to educate ourselves. We know that we're going to automate our savings and our investments, and that we're going to start investing today, and start investing early, and start investing often. And then we're going to teach that to our children and to our grandchildren as well. Financial education is crucial. That's the fourth takeaway. Financial education is essential. Lack of financial literacy can perpetuate the cycle of inequality. If we're trying to break those norms, then it's important for us to become financially literate. How do you do that? You begin by reading books like this. You begin by taking some online courses. You begin by Googling and YouTubing some terms and getting very familiar with what they're all about. You begin by consuming more educational content versus just entertaining content. I know that stings a little, but it's really important if we want to, and this is our fifth takeaway, if we want to break societal norms around money. Society often expects women to prioritize spending on appearance and luxury goods, but Dunlap encourages women to examine the societal pressures behind their spending habits and to make financial decisions that align with their values and not societal expectations. This is where I was talking about, self-care. Self-care means so much more. Self-care means so much more than you just going and shopping and going on a buying spree and buying yourself those Jimmy Choos or buying yourself that Louis Vuitton bag. Honestly, that lasts this long. But when you invest in yourself, when you invest in your financial peace, when you put some money in savings, man, doesn't that feel good? Doesn't it feel good knowing that if I want to take a trip next quarter, that it can be completely paid for, that I don't have to put my tickets on a credit card because I have the money to pay for them? This is what we have to begin to change about ourselves. I get to decide what's important and valuable to me, but I have to be at a place where I understand this for myself. What do I care about? Do I care about keeping up with the Joneses? Do I care about driving a brand new car? Do I care about carrying around a designer purse? Or do I care about paying my bills on time? Do I care that nobody's calling me to collect? Do I care that I know that I can pay for my daughter's quinceañera debt-free? Does it matter to me that I can help my children buy their first car as to putting a down payment on their first car or on their first house, and it's not going to eat my lunch? What are your values? You have to know what your starting point is. And then you have to know what your goal is. And you have to reverse engineer that for yourself. Break the norms around money and what girls should be spending money on. That's what this book is about. It's such a good book. So we've got three, and I've got only a few minutes left, okay, because I'm going to try to finish within the 15 minutes. We've got 3 action steps that we can implement today. And the number 1 action step is, of course, to automate your savings. We've heard it before. We should have at least 3 months, right? 3 months of our paycheck, of our salary. We should have 3 months of that in an emergency savings plan. And usually it's supposed to be in a place, right, where we can't access it readily, where we can't kind of have, a terrible day and want to use some retail therapy. We really have to be smart about it and also put some safeguards around ourselves. And I'm telling you that because sometimes things get the stress, emotions, hard circumstances get the best of us, and we give in or cave in to temptation. And so we have to really automate our savings in such a way that it's in a place where we can't readily access it. And so that's really important. And our first action step. Start with something small, something manageable, an amount that you can grow over time. You can do 10% of your income and gradually increase that the more comfortable that you become with your finances. Number 2, you can start investing. Go have an appointment with an investment banker. Ask them, here's the money that I make. What could I possibly invest my money in that will align with my values, with my goals, and with what I have in my mind for my future. It's time for us to stop letting other people decide what our future should look like and us taking action so that we determine what our future looks like. And so that's very important. So start investing. Open a retirement or investment account today and open one that's outside of your job. Get an individual retirement account and start looking into those now. 3, track and assess your spending. I know this is not something that we like to do. A lot of us just don't want to open the bank account because we don't want to see what we did. I was having a conversation with a girl the other day, and I was like, sometimes you just don't log into your account because you just don't want to see what the damage that you've done over the weekend. You don't want to see in which areas you're kind of faltering or falling behind. And the truth is that when we don't go and look, we're only hurting ourselves because we have no idea where we are. And it's very important for us to realize what are those spending leaks, and track those expenses to know what am I spending money on that I could actually just kind of reduce and go back, because I don't have time to watch all 50 different subscription channels or subscription apps that I'm subscribed to, right? If you have Hulu, if you have Disney Plus, if you have YouTube TV, if you have Netflix, if you have all the different ones, are you watching that much TV? And does that align with your values? So see how you have to know exactly where you're spending your money, and then create the margins in your budget, create those boundaries for yourself, and begin to unsubscribe from some of those things. Begin to say, you know what, this is not taking me to the place where I want to be. This is actually just, I'm thinking $15 here, $20 there, $5 here, and before you know it, you're $150 deep in subscriptions of things that you're not even watching, that you're not even taking part in. And so what are your values, and where do you want to get to, and how are you tracking your spending? Are you taking a notebook and writing it all down? Are you using apps like Rocket Money? Are you logging into your bank statement every month, every week, perhaps, to just see where it is that you're spending excess amount of money? It's really important for us to track our spending and to know where we are. Over the next week, track your expenses. Then assess if your spending aligns with your goals and your values. At the very end, and to summarize this entire conversation, Dunlap's Financial Feminist is not just about the numbers. It's a movement towards financial independence and a systematic change, not just for you, but for those who are coming behind you. By taking small and consistent steps, you can start building a financial future today while contributing to the broader mission of financial equality for all. This is really inspiring for me. It was inspiring to me, and I want to serve as an inspiration for you as well. We don't all have it figured out. I don't have it all figured out, but I want to start today, and I want to be your accountability partner so that you start today too. If you have any questions, or if you perhaps just want to talk about it, give me a call. Send me a message, let me know, hey, I'm interested in visiting about this because I just need somebody to hold me accountable. I need somebody to sit with me and who won't judge me and who'll say, hey, how can we take the steps to make my hopes, my dreams, and my financial future what I want it to be and a reality for myself, and I want to be there for you. So give me a call. I will leave all my contact information in the description of this video, but above everything, remember to work and invest in yourself. Work for yourself, invest in yourself, and above everything, take a hold of your own financial future. You will be so happy that you did and that you started today. Thank you for joining me. I am your friend Raquel, and this is our Women in Business Networking Book Club chat. Thanks so much for being with me today. Until next time.